Give me a hell yeah!
Welcome to the Call Up Podcast. Join your hosts, Kenny and DJ, for your weekly dose of pro wrestling excitement.
Would you please shut the hell up?
From the latest news to heated debates, we got you covered. Every week, we dive into the world of professional wrestling, sharing our insights and opinions on the hottest topics. Plus, don't miss our top 3 winners and losers of the week. It's always a showdown.
What you gonna do when Hulkamania destroys you?
But here's what makes us different. We want you to feel like you're right here with us. Our goal is to make you a part of the show, because after all, wrestling is better when it's shared with friends. With 2 years of experience in the wrestling media scene, we're more than qualified to bring you the inside scoop and a fun and lively twist.
What the rock is cooking?
Get ready for a funny, loud podcast where you're not just a listener, you're a valued member of the conversation. Welcome to the Call Up Podcast.
You're welcome.
It's a brand new year. It is a brand new episode. And people are probably wondering, what do you mean a brand new year? WrestleMania is over. That means the clock turns all the way back again to the beginning. And we start a fresh new chapter in the world of WWE. It's your boy Kenny. It is your boy DJ. This is a brand new episode of the Call Up Podcast. I know last week, if you guys are listening or you guys tuned in, you was just like, what is all these people? That was the other knuckleheads that joined us. Well, we joined them and then they joined us, and we just had like a whole big party to talk about WrestleMania and give our predictions. It was super long. That day I was tired. So anybody who watched the live version, I'm so sorry for my facial expressions or just rushing through certain things. I know people told me it was like, it sounded like you was rushing at one point, and I was, because I was just tired. The C4 energy drink was not helping at all. I had the only long day. Yeah, I'm like, I'm getting off at 12 o'clock. You know what I mean? But welcome on in. DJ, what's going on, man? I haven't talked to you in a couple of days.
Yeah, man. So, like you said, now we're, like I even said, like you said, man, you didn't have that many things listed on the show notes, and I was like, oh, well, the things that you have listed, that's going to take us a minute to take apart anyway. So I think that's all we're going to need for tonight, because yeah, like, I mean, this is like for real. What y'all want to talk about? Because there's a lot we need to take. We need to take apart tonight, because
before
I got blocked by a show and everything today.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, you guys, I saw that in the group chat that you guys said that a particular show blocked you guys. I'm so curious to see if they blocked me, just because I'm affiliated with you guys. So I'm kind of curious. But before we dive into all that, there's a lot of people in the chat tonight, so let's just dive in there. Clown is in the building. Jamal is in the building. Tyson's in the building. Lori and Paul, they're over on Instagram right now. Say, give me a shout out, guys. We love you guys. Thank you so much. And then everybody's actually talking about CM Punk. We'll get it. We'll dive into that in this episode.
Tyson, it's showtime is what it is.
You know what? That's right, because DJ was supposed to say that at the beginning of this episode, but he did not say that. He forgot.
They keep you on your stuff, and when the live stuff here,
So
damn it, I'm here to hear it's showtime. So
Oh my
No, I'm
god.
not
So
going to cheap. I'm not going to cheap you out on
yeah,
that.
but we got the usual suspects, and we got some new people in the house right now. So it's good
Come on in.
to see you guys. If you guys are watching us here on Instagram, jump on over to YouTube. You type in the Call Up Podcast, and that will direct you straight to us.
Yep.
We read every single comment here, and if you guys
Yep.
are listening to the audio version of this, and you're kind of wondering, oh well, when did they go live? We go live every single Thursday at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and we just have a ball here. So if you guys are up on a Thursday night and you guys want to hang out and get your opinions read on the air and be a part of the show, come on through. We love a good opinion. Let's go into the news here.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you want to start first? Because we have 3 topics here. We
Right.
got Roman, which you know what, we'll save that because that actually ties into WrestleMania.
Right.
The one thing I can say we could just dive into first and get that out the way is is AEW. So
Man, you know,
this,
put them up front,
yeah,
huh?
we're gonna put them
They're
front. We're
they're
gonna
the
put them
opener.
front and center. They're the opening act. We're gonna
All
put them
right.
front and center.
All right.
Just because I feel
That's
WrestleMania recap will take up the whole entire show,
right.
and then our last question ties into the WrestleMania, so might as well just
All
put
right.
them last.
Yep.
So Nick and Matt Jackson put out this tweet, or was it Tony Khan? One of the two people from AEW puts out a tweet stating that they were going to show the brawl that happened between CM Punk and Jack Perry. Everyone from Fightful to all the other wrestling news outlets was saying that this is not a work. This is something that's actually going to happen. They're going to show this. And the one question that I know me and you had as, as fans of the business is, was this necessary?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Was this something that they really needed to show? Right?
Right.
Would this, and I wrote it in the show notes, did this help them? So last night, Dynamite comes on. I love the simple fact, and I give them credit for this one, is that they had a timer, a little countdown clock
Tell you when it was gonna
of when it
show.
was going to happen. So then
Right.
once it came up, everybody was kind of just glued to watching Dynamite, right? And Nick, the Young Bucks come out, they do a really short promo, and then they show the video. Now, everything that Punk said on the MMA Hour, not for nothing, we saw on the video.
I even sent you somebody synced it up, synced Punk talking with the video, and it perfectly goes with what Punk said that happened.
Right. So, you see CM Punk and Jungle Boy, they're talking, and of course, Punk shoves him.
Mm-hmm.
Some people say that it was a punch. If that was a punch, then CM Punk needs to learn how to fight, because
I'm gonna put it this way: if you think that was a punch, you've never been in a fight. I'm just gonna tell you that, just flat out. If you think that's a punch, you haven't been in a fight, and it's all right. I realize everybody probably hasn't lived in that kind of neighborhood and probably hasn't been in that situation before in their own lives. But if you think that's a punch, you have not been in a fight.
Yeah, so I'm looking at this, and he did choke him a little bit, and they pulled him back, and everything was the same way. And he pointed to Tony Khan, everything that he said in that video.
Yep,
I saw in this footage that they showed on Dynamite. But the internet, bro, the internet is going crazy.
Still, as we speak.
Oh, Punk is unprofessional. Oh, he swung at him. Oh, he hit him. Like, oh, he's a piece of shit. Whatever it is that the IWC was saying, that I got I was looking through the interwebs today when I had the chance. Everybody was trying to. Some people went to the defense of CM Punk, even like here in the chat right now, where Trigger Wrestling said the same thing. He's like, Punk didn't do anything. Lori over on Instagram said the same thing. People on Instagram are saying that they didn't do anything. Tom is on here right now saying fuck AEW. Like, these are the things that people are saying.
Right.
So, DJ, in your opinion, did this help AEW at all?
In fact, I will say it went the other way. You went negative because it was like, so first I got more respect for Punk after this. Like not to say I didn't have any respect for him at all. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that, like, I was kind of iffy on the situation when we first heard about it back when the thing happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then you heard his explanation. And I was like, you know what? That actually makes sense. And then now we see it now we get to see the footage, and then the footage matches. What did you do? Like, so
Yep.
Did you think that we were going to, like, I think they really thought we were going to look at that and go, oh, Punk is, like, just like the people that are tribalists now,
Right.
this is where they are. Like, they're going to say, oh, Punk is in the wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But anybody that's ever been, hell, if you've just played a sport and been in a locker room, like, forget all the wrestling stuff and everything. If you've just been in a locker room and you've been on a team,
Mm-hmm.
you know what that fight was about, and you know exactly what Punk was saying, and
Right.
that looked familiar when you saw the footage.
Mm-hmm.
So again, like, if you think that was a punch, you've never been in a fight, and I'm gonna guess I don't know if you've been in a locker room before, in an athletic locker room before. I'm gonna question you. Put it that way. If you think that was a punch, that was not a punch. It wasn't a punch. He just shoved him. All right. This is what happens when you talk to somebody and you're not behind a keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when you don't get to just say stuff and nothing happens. Like, that's what happens when you're behind a keyboard. When you say something in somebody's face, see, this is how we grew up. If you opened your mouth, you had to face the person that you're talking to.
Exactly. Like, I'm gonna punch you in your face.
Right.
Plain and simple.
Okay, and I'm not gonna let. And if you know there's gonna be a fight, you don't let the person come into your space. You're gonna get hit. Like.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So they shot themselves even more in the foot. Everything that even me and Tom used to talk about before all this stuff, he has no control. Like, he's letting the inmates run the asylum, and this is what's happening. It's over. It's over. Okay, like, Tom, like, so Tom and I, like, Tom's in the chat, like, Tom and I got kicked off, like, we got blocked by another show because I saw that. This show is they're an AEW hack show. Like, they all they do is talk about the Vince sex case and AEW. That's all they talk about on their on their whole platform. And now that they went and made them, like, AEW went out there and made themselves look like more of an ass, now they're mad at us.
Right. And let me call them out. And listen, Tom said the name. Okay. I'm not scared. I like the guys from the Turnbuckle Tavern. I think there's some great guys. I like the show. I love the debates. What they like and who they support is them. Just like what DJ always says, never yuck somebody's yum. If you want to ride or die for just one company, you want to ride or die for AEW, that's on you. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Mm-hmm. But don't block somebody else's opinion, because listen, on the page on Instagram, if you guys look on the Caller Podcast page, we get a lot of shit. Like, there's a lot of comments throughout the day that when we post stuff, it just, man. Sometimes I want to comment on a lot of those things, and sometimes I just say, you know what, I'm not going to. I just rather just leave it alone. Shit happens. But they had their opinion. They had their reasons to block you guys. I'm not even sure
they did.
I'm not sure that if I'm still on there for whatever reason. If I am, that's cool. If not, listen, all the best to the people at the Turnbuckle Tavern. I wish you nothing but the best. Hopefully I see you guys around and we can have a beer or hug it out or whatever it is you guys want to do. But for the meantime, right now, ladies and gentlemen, AEW needs to get their shit together. I am sorry, and I would say this about about WWE
Anybody.
the same exact way.
Yeah.
Because I am a fan of wrestling. Shit, I even give Wild Women of Wrestling a hard time.
As you should. Like they could do better too.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, let's just keep it real.
Yes.
But what
The
they
rat on
did,
the table, as we say.
what they did yesterday was not necessary at all. It did nothing for the ratings. It did nothing for the product. You basically just gave more help to WWE.
And you only got what, another 100,000 people
That was it.
on your meet from your average viewers. So again, like, let's make an excuse not to work on our own product.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we've been asking. Is like, dude, work on your own product. CM Punk is gone.
Yep.
Work on your product. You got all these, like, you supposedly got all the best free agents.
Mm-hmm. Then do something.
All right, do something. Do
But
something. And they haven't.
And the crazy thing is that they didn't stop there. You would have thought that they would have just been like, okay, we're just gonna show this footage and that will be it. No, TK, no, buddy. He sniffed another line of coke and he told Will Ospreay, go out there and do what you want. Yes, talk about Triple H. Go out there and do that. You know, and then reading the reports that they actually tried to encourage him to talk about CM Punk in the promo, and they was just like, nah, we'll just leave it at this right here. So if for some people who don't know and kind of wondering what's going on, so last night on Dynamite, again, an amazing talent in Will Ospreay. Instead of being in the ring, showing what he can do, he comes out. Renee Paquette is there, and he goes on this little rant about a certain someone saying that he wanted a lighter schedule and he couldn't handle the grind. Now, we all know who he's talking about because when Triple H was in the presser, he did say that, you know, certain people want lighter schedules and they don't want to be a part of the grind. And those are not people that he wants in the company.
Right.
They were pretty much referring to Will Ospreay because Will Ospreay, there were reports that he didn't want to work the schedule that WWE was going to give him, which is respectable because you think about it like this, though. Ciampa, for years, said he didn't want to do a main event schedule.
Right.
He didn't want to go to the main roster. They tried to put Ciampa in the main roster for years.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And he kept saying no.
Right.
Because he didn't want to be away from his family too long. And I guess now he changed his mind, or they probably pay him a little bit more.
We'll give you a bump in salary. And he's like, that bump will work.
Yeah.
And here he is. I'm sure he had a great time doing those spots at WrestleMania.
Uh-huh. So the one thing that I hate, and people need to stop doing this, is that he goes and says, oh, that he doesn't know about the grind, that he got his position because he was on top of the boss's daughter. All right, let's keep it 100 here.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Let's keep it 100. Triple H loves this business. We've seen it time and time again. The dude took the fall for his own friends, grinded it out until they put him back in a position that he can show what he can do.
You can even go further back than that. Like can we talk about Terror Rising for a minute? Like, the guy did it the old-fashioned way. What are you talking about? And then, like you said, he was in pig slop matches and all kinds of shit before he got into the main event because he had to be punished for the curtain call. So what are we talking? Like, so this is what I mean. This, now I know what CM Punk was saying. Like, so now it's starting to come around. Like, because when CM Punk said, "I'm working with children."
Yep.
some of these younger guys, like it's like they don't know stuff kind of happened before they were born.
Right.
So you might, before you say things, you might want to make sure what you're saying is correct. Like go look back a little bit and make sure what you're saying is correct. So yeah, he ended up with the boss's daughter, but that's not like he probably got to hold on to the title longer because he was the boss's daughter, but that's not
Yep.
why he got on top. So, oh god, like so yeah, it was a horrible. Like first off, again, Will Ospreay should not have a microphone. Let's start there. He's just not. He's not good on the just because you say "bruv" a few times is not going to help you. Okay, it's not going to help you. But you didn't want any help with that. So you didn't want any help with that. Great wrestler, but it's a certain type of style. As you can see, like again, let's put the rat on the table. He's not a draw. And I'm talking about a money draw. It's time to say it. He's not filling in a nobody. You're putting his name up on lights, and people are not buying tickets because they see his name. Correct? That you're not a draw. So it's time to start telling the truth here. This is what I want to start doing. The Rainmaker, is that not the weak? I've never seen a weaker finisher in my life in wrestling. Okay, the Honky Tonk Man's finisher looks more menacing than the freaking Rainmaker's finisher.
That clothesline that he does, I've seen people in the indies do it way better.
Yes, it's same.
Because basically it's just a lariat that you're hitting somebody with.
Yes.
There's a girl right now named Rufus Lala who has a stronger lariat hit than that. And I've seen her hit it a number of times.
Right. It looks like a wet paper towel when he throws it. Okay, can we? So, put the blinders on and work on your own product. That's basically where I am at this point. Okay, you guys look really silly with showing this video, thinking we're gonna that was gonna do anything for you. All you really did was show that Punk was right the whole time. That's all you did.
Exactly.
That's all you did. So, and he's not even you just showed a guy that's not even in your company. The fans in your own arena started chanting his name. And you got another 103,000 people watching the show because they knew he was going to be on there.
Yep.
It's time to look at, can we I want to ask the people that are AEW loyal, can we look at your own product now? I don't care about what happened. The stuff with Vince's case, that's going to be handled in the court. Vince is not even part of the company anymore. So stop saying that in comments like that. You're making yourself look silly. We're talking about AEW.
Exactly. And
we're talking about AEW. How many times do we need to see people like Edge doing promos and you look at the hard cam side, a picture from the hard, somebody sitting and taking a picture of Edge where you can see the hard cam side. There's nobody on the other side of the arena. Nobody, not a soul. That's not good. That's not. You can't defend it. There's nothing to defend.
And don't get me wrong, because WWE, they do some petty shit. Because have you noticed all the camera cuts that they do now?
Sure that,
they make sure to show the whole arena.
I noticed that.
They've done it more than normal, which is hilarious.
Yes.
When you listen to the Then, Now, and Forever, remember the saying, it went then, now, forever together. Right?
Right.
You listen to the new one now, it said then, now, forever, the global force of sports entertainment. I said, you motherfuckers, who came up with that one right there? Because
so Mercedes want to talk about being global. Okay. That's what that came from.
So listen, are both sides being petty? Yes. Is it entertaining to wrestling fans, absolutely. More entertaining to see AEW fans versus WWE fans, hell yeah. Because everybody always says it's like, you have the casual wrestling fan. They kind of just watch the big pay-per-views. They watch a couple of Monday Night Raws or Dynamites and stuff like that, and that's it.
Right.
Then you have the I would say hardcore fans. They watch everything. They watch NXT, Raw, SmackDown, Dynamite, Rampage, New Japan, TNA. They're trying to get everything going.
Right. As long as they can, as long as they have time to watch all of that.
Yeah, as long as they have time to watch it. And then
wake
you
up
have
at 4 in the morning to watch New Japan and all that.
I mean, I've done that. And then you have like your loyal GCW, and then you have your loyal WWE fans. Like that's all they watch. They're not watching AEW, FAEW in their eyes. Then you have you have your loyal AEW fans. They're like FWWE, fuck Vince McMahon, Triple H is a piece of shit. Cody Rhodes could suck a dick. Like these are the things that we read. It's not me saying like making this stuff up. These are DJ sends me clips all the time and be like, hey, look at the comment section, and some of the things that people say, y'all need to get punched in the face,
man.
Because people are way too comfortable behind a computer or a phone. Like
that's
you can get punched in the face,
and that's what they thought CM Punk punched Jungle Boy.
Yeah,
he's never been punched.
Like shit, you know what I mean? But I love it because it's entertaining. It gives us something to watch from this crazy world that we live in.
At least it gives you something to unplug from Armageddon going on like around the world. Like this is the toy section of life.
Exactly.
Right? Like this isn't
shit with the week that I've had. I was really I'm tired, but I was looking forward to this conversation with you, DJ, just because I know that for an hour, 2 hours, we clear our minds and this is all we do. We talk with the people in the comments. We talk to each other and we go over the highlights of wrestling. But let's see what happens next week. I'm assuming they may give us another surprise next week.
Big announcement.
TK may have a fucking hissy fit because we still got SmackDown.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we still got SmackDown.
We still got SmackDown. So you never know what could happen.
And you can SmackDown. You could have some call ups. You can have some free agents show up that were signed, and the week is not over. Like the post WrestleMania week is not over yet.
So let's
100,000 people that are going to watch Collision and
their ratings go up and down like a roller coaster every week.
From 75 to 100,000, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Eventually they'll get it together, or they're just gonna. They're probably, not for nothing, because Collision was made for CM Punk.
Right.
They could be so petty as to be like, you know what? We're gonna change the name of the show. Fuck it. Or they could just put ROH in that time slot. I mean,
they should change
you
the
did
name
pay for
of
it.
it to Glass.
Like fuck. It's the nap hour.
AEW Glass.
It's the nap hour for fucking AEW at this point. Fuck, it's what you watch before you go to the club.
Right.
For the younger folks, because I'm too old to go to the club. I'm tired by 10:30.
And then to top it all off, let's have Dustin Rhodes fight for the AEW championship just out of the blue.
That made no sense to me as to why Dustin was fighting Samoa Joe for the title. Whatever happened to the ranking system?
It's like, again, it's out the window. Again, you're letting that sounds like a call made by the Young Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Because they like people like again I'm gonna start putting them out here like it's like so and not saying Vince McMahon wasn't petty
Mm-hmm.
because he absolutely was, but I think that they're matching like the Young Bucks are matching the pettiness,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't work for them because they look like a couple punks like to me
Right.
like and this character change like they look like Dumb and Dumber when they went to the formal like I mean
It's horrible.
I mean it's work on your product. work on your product.
Oh, Tyson goes and says, "Ain't none of y'all old enough to go to the damn club." Listen, I don't know when's the last time I've been to a club.
Now, like, how old do you think we are? Yeah, I grew up in LA.
Mm-hmm.
That's and that's when clubs were fun. Like, we actually went to dance. Like, what a concept.
Yes.
when I was clubbing.
To be young again.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to the next one. WrestleMania just ended.
Did that happen?
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
It was Saturday and Sunday. Some interesting things happened on both nights. Let's start off with night one, which to me, I still feel there was two things that I was disappointed in for night one. They didn't start off with Jimmy and Jay being the first match.
Yeah.
And when their match did come, it wasn't what I expected it to be.
They were stuck in the mud. It seemed like they couldn't get it out of second gear or whatever, however you want to say it. It seemed like to me, So hopefully, like I'd like to see them do it again. Like I don't know if it was nerves or what have you. Like so, it was off. Like they seem off. Like something we'll probably it'd be one of those things we'll probably hear about. On A&E or something like when we got to the match. Somebody pulled a muscle or something. I don't know. But they were off. They were not. That was not the Jimmy and Jay that we've seen.
Yeah.
So something. I think something was going on there with like an injury or what have you. But they just seem stuck in the mud there.
There was a spot in the match where Jay is giving super kicks to Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
And he's talking to him. And I so wish this would be in reverse. Mm-hmm. Where Jimmy was giving those super kicks. Because not for nothing, all the times that Jimmy would attack Jay, I loved it. Because not only is he beating his ass, but he's grabbing him by the face. And he's telling him, I love you. It didn't have to be this way. These are things that Roman did in the beginning.
That's right.
Of being the tribal chief.
That's right.
And that's why I love Jimmy Uso so much.
Just acknowledge me.
He's like, we could have. He goes, we could have done this together. Mm-hmm. When it was him and Solo beating on Jay, he was like, this could have been. We could have done this together. And if he would have did that at WrestleMania. And just talk to him. And every time he super kicked him, he picks him back up. And he tells him it didn't have to be this way. And he's holding on. He does a little swivel. And wham! He hits him again. And he's just nailing him. I think that would have been perfect. There were certain points in the match. It was a little boring. I felt like the fans are kind of like turning on them a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because
we expected some back and forth and
right.
And I was gonna have some fun with you. I was like, yeah, of course you wanted that spot because Jimmy was your pick. So, but I did like when Jay was getting over and he goes, wait, hold on, like kind of, don't now. And then Tommy has a point too. Thank you, sir. It was hella cold.
but for the fans, it was cold.
Mhm.
See, WWE, when they have those outdoors events, they have heaters in the turnbuckles area. Those
Well, I
poles,
saw them
those are
I saw them above them.
right.
On,
And no,
on
no, no.
night
But
two.
in those like the buckles, not the buckles itself, but the poles, those
Mhm.
are heaters that's blowing out heat into the
Right.
ring.
Right.
So they're warm.
Mhm.
I don't want to hear shit about being cold. Tommy was just being a fucking girl and he wanted to be cold. Ain't no one told him to go to WrestleMania with a sweater on. All right, sir. Tom, I
Oh,
love
man.
you. But you needed
Man.
more than a hoodie.
Oh,
They thought it was summertime out there in
he's a
Connecticut.
Connecticut guy. He
He
got
thought it was
that.
summer. He
He was
thought
all
it was
right.
springtime.
He is all
Listen,
right.
it ain't
Tommy
spring.
was all right.
He goes, I was high as fuck. I didn't feel anything.
Well, see, I told you. Like,
Okay,
he's all right.
okay. I know he
You
was
ain't
all
gonna
right.
freeze him out.
That's my boy right there. I know he
Yeah.
was all right.
This man plays hockey. Like, you ain't gonna.
Yeah, I shouldn't. Yeah, he plays hockey 24/7, living the dream. I should never hear him say he's cold.
No, and you won't. When I came to visit you guys, I was like, like it was cold, and he was just.
He was just chilling. I had a jacket on. But yeah, it was a little. I don't know. Maybe I expected a whole lot more from the Jimmy and Jay match. I did like the fact. I did like the fact that they had the video package, and this is something that we talked about.
Yep, that was a good video package.
Where it showed them from when they were babies, all the way until they got to the bloodline.
Right. I'm my brother's keeper, and
Yep.
you know, and then I'm not my brother's keeper. So yeah, so no, that was the whole build up and everything. That was done great. They just kind of they just kind of missed it on the match. You know, I'm sure we'll see more, and they'll, it's something, so everybody has a dud every now and then, but hey, that unfortunately, I gotta call that one a dud.
I don't know. We gotta. The only problem that I see this is that Jimmy's gonna keep continuing to cost Jay matches, and I think at that point it's starting to get old. Whereas it's like, okay, you guys are either gonna fight, like a real fight, or we just gonna end this story.
Well, I think at this point they probably will continue. Like when Jay does get some kind of strap, then I think that's when Jimmy will rear his head again and say, "Okay, I want that." And then now we have a title match at that point. That's kind of what I think will happen.
Was it night one? It started off with Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch.
And then we found out Becky was not well.
Well, who the fuck told her to go on a book tour? All right. And this is what I mean, okay, people. All right. I shit on everybody.
I'm about to say everybody can get it.
Ain't no one told your dumb ass to go on a fucking book tour. Shaking people's hands and kissing babies and shit to hugging. I seen the pictures. I've seen the videos. What you thought was gonna happen? Baby, COVID is still real out here. Like, you lucky you didn't catch that.
Hey, dealing with the public, especially like the public at large, and you're personally dealing with them. Yeah, you're running the risk of, catching some kind of bug flying around.
So they was like, oh, she got strep throat, she got a high fever, she got this, she's moving a little sluggish. You know what I said? Good for you. That's what you deserve. Because you wasn't even supposed to be in this match. All right.
That I agree with.
You wasn't supposed to be in this match.
Oh,
it should have
put that up by Jamal, please.
See, even Jamal wants to talk shit about it. He goes, stop, LO. He goes, laugh out loud. Stop talking about Becky No Cheeks.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. She's trying. But seriously, man, we should have had Nia Jax there. That was the most disappointing thing for me. that Nia Jax and Liv Morgan wasn't a part of this. Like, they've been at Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch for weeks.
Right.
For weeks. And we didn't
Imagine the
hear
match we would have got out of either one of them.
we didn't hear one peep from either one.
Right.
I was super
Well, shoot, they
disappointed.
Well, I mean, at that point, they probably just kind of wanted to get through the match without like getting Becky in and out of there. It's probably what they were really focused on.
They should have called an audible and took her out of there.
Nia or Liv, I think, would have been an excellent match. She, hey, she got sick. Like, card subject to change. She got sick. She'll get her title shot some other time. Here's, pick one, either Liv or Nia, and I think that would have been a better opener. If that's what you were going to do for the opener, I did like the entrance though.
Oh no, the entrance was fire. But the thing that got me about like Rhea Ripley's entrance, right? And I want to hear from everybody else. Was somebody else confused as I was? Like when you saw Rhea Ripley with this wig, hair extension thing on her head, and then the guy that was singing her like entrance song looked like her.
It was like, I'm like, okay, it's, and my thought was like, okay, they're uniform, like that's the way I took it.
So I was just like, oh, okay. But listen, the match is pretty dope though.
Are we having a draft?
Yeah, there's a draft happening in another week.
Okay.
They announced it on Monday.
Okay, I missed that.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Where do we go from here? Gunther and Sami Zayn, aka Rocky and Drago. Because that's exactly what it felt like watching.
They did
this.
Everything. You owe me one at the end of the fight and all that.
They did it all. When he came out and he told his wife, keep him in the back. I don't want him seeing this. I said, oh man, this is some Rocky shit right here. Then you got Chad Gable standing there. He's like, oh, don't forget, you owe me one. And I was just like, okay, all right, Apollo. Right. It was like shit. But not for nothing, they should have left the title on Gunther.
And then I was like, okay, if you're gonna go this far, have him come out to one of the Rocky themes then. If we're gonna go this far,
I like the fact that Kevin Owens was waiting for him.
Yeah.
In the gorilla position.
No, that was dope.
Like, it definitely like it caught me in the feels where I was just like, okay, this is dope, But yeah, the match was good. Like it made.
I thought the match was good. Yeah.
I think even though Gunther lost, it made Gunther still look strong.
Exactly.
And it was like you overcame the giant. Right. So every dog has his day, and it was Sammy's time. But please, ladies and gentlemen, we don't need 2 Sammy moments back to back on WrestleManias.
That should be good now. Like he he won a big tag team match, right? Now he won a big singles title. I think I'm like you said, I'm good with Sammy. We don't need another underdog, oh god, story from him anymore. Like, just not to say, again, not saying he needs to job out for the rest of his career. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying we don't, this type of thing. Okay, we've seen it now. We can put other people in these positions from going forward.
What happens now that Sami Zayn is IC champ?
Well, you're gonna so one thing I noticed, and this is what maybe the draft is gonna fix, is that we don't have enough heels. We don't have enough heels. Like, there's going to be a lot. We're going to get a couple of title defenses from not just the IC, but probably even the world straps.
Yeah.
There's going to be babyface versus babyfaces coming up here. Because Judgment Day, they're supposed to be heel, but they're like this is what happens when the heels are too cool. they
they're
basically
too
become
likable.
they become baby faces. Just like Legion of Doom never changed anything. Put it that way. They never changed anything about them, and they just became baby faces. So yeah, they need to establish. We need some heels here. We need to establish some heels. So that's why it's kind of hard to say because he might keep it for a couple of premium live events and then somebody's gonna get like you'll have somebody because Ricochet's starting to get hot, etc. So I think one of these guys will probably end up taking it off of him in a good match though. It'll be a good match.
So no Chad Gable. He's gonna get the title shot.
I'm about to say Chad Gable it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me either, because he's hot too. Like he's the people are behind him and he's hot as well. So, Chad.
I had this discussion today with a coworker, and he asked me, "What do you think is going to happen with Gunther now? Where do you fantasy book him?" I said, "Give him King of the Ring."
Okay. How about Money in the Bank?
I have my person for Money in the Bank.
Okay.
But I think Gunther will make a great King of the Ring. Like I think if you put him and have him win King of the Ring, I think that will lead him to want to go after Damian Priest,
okay,
or Cody Rhodes.
But that's my other thing because does Cody go to SmackDown now?
Well, Cody can go anywhere. Cody can go to either brand.
For that title, you can go wherever. Okay.
Yeah, because he's the undisputed champion, so he can go anywhere.
Gunther world title shot at in Germany.
I can see that happening.
You almost have to, to be honest. Like you almost have to, which is just good booking. If you have the Hart Foundation, you go to Canada, they're going to be in the main event. Like that's just good booking. So yeah, no, that I can clown that. That's definitely a good call, and probably will happen. That's so in some type of way, that's probably going to happen.
Let's see the next match we have, and it's funny when I break this down.
Okay.
So it was for the undisputed tag team championship. You had the champions, the Judgment Day, taking on DIY, taking on Awesome Truth, taking on New Catch Republic, taking on the New Day, taking on A-Town Down. Last week on the show, Ray goes and says that he thinks that the titles are going to get split up. I said no. They're probably going to keep both titles unified, and they'll just, on Monday, make a brand new tag team titles.
Right.
Fucking Ray was right.
That he made me, when he said that, that's what inspired my picks. I was like, you know what? I think he's right, and I picked two teams. So, yeah, and he was...
You guys were right.
Because and then when I saw the setup, when the match was starting, and how the titles were there, I was like, yeah, there's no way that two teams can win this unless somebody like builds that apparatus that Edge and Christian did in the first table, ladders, and chairs match. That's the only way somebody can possibly get both of these both sets of titles. So I'm like, no, it's gonna get split up again. So here we are, and I did not have A-Town Down though. Like it's one of the teams.
I had Awesome Truth.
I think everybody had Awesome Truth.
Everyone wanted Awesome Truth to win, which they did.
Right.
But
I love the hot tag too. I was dying.
But there was so many spots in this match that it was just, for me, I felt like it was all over the place.
It was. It absolutely was.
Because they try to keep it in that small space, and there was way too many people to do half those spots that they did.
Right. Yeah, Clown, that was exactly my pick. Um, and yeah, once I saw DIY do the big spot, I was like, okay, they're done for the. They're not gonna get up from that when it comes to the finish. I was like, so damn, they're out. So
I like the DX outfit that they had on.
they should keep going. Like I like when they do like basically do Triple H and Shawn Michael DX thing.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like it. So
New Day had the Rocky theme
yep, yep,
going,
yep.
which was nice. I have no
Again, you're there.
idea.
I would do it.
Yeah, I have no idea what the fuck Judgment Day was wearing. Maybe somebody could let me know in the chat
Yeah,
what
I
exactly
lost
were
that
they
one
were
too.
wearing. I didn't know. Um, there was almost gonna be a tragedy in this match.
Mm,
So Damian Priest and The Miz go to do a spot. As Damian Priest is putting the ladder back to start climbing it, the female referee goes and is yelling at Damian Priest to not climb up on the ladder. And I'm like, damn, but is he not supposed to do this spot? And then you see the Miz start to climb up on the other side of the ladder. What
mhm.
happens? One of the legs start to
Legs.
give.
Yeah.
So now they're standing in the middle of this ladder, and the only thing they can do is go for a choke slam. Both of them
Right.
fall.
Right.
They move the ladder out of the way. They get a brand new ladder to redo the spot all over again.
Right.
I was
But
just
hey,
like,
that's
"Ooh,
good eyes by the ref.
yep,
Okay, so because it's like as much as we make fun of botches,
right,
you got to give kudos to when they say, "Hey, you know, like no, not don't do it. Look right there." You know, so you got to give them their credit when it's due as well to avoid some people going in there and breaking their
mm-hmm."
neck.
See,
So
even people on Instagram were saying it's like, yeah, the ladder was folding.
right, right. So and then that's a lot of weight to go up there with a compromised ladder. You know, so you know, good job on that one. Like I don't even care that like it kind of, you know, even if it takes a little bit of a lure away from
Mm-hmm.
your imagination away from the match, that's fine. I want people to be able to walk out of the match as well. Like so,
Right. But we end up getting two sets of champions.
mhm.
We had A Town Down winning the SmackDown tag team titles, which I was super surprised that they were they
Me too.
actually got them to win this.
Me too.
And then we end up getting Awesome Truth
Yep.
winning the tag team titles. I think everyone was more excited to see our Truth win
Oh,
a
they had a
title
pop. It was a huge pop for him to
because
win that.
it was on the money when he won. Because
Right.
for a minute there, I thought that they wasn't gonna let them win.
Well, Jamal, not only should AEW refs get a tip from this, but I would say even production should get tips from this because if you remember when they had a ladder match, they had to have the referees hold the ladder while the guy was going up to get the prize.
Mm-hmm.
All because the ladder, all they had to do was have a tall enough ladder, and that solves that problem. So that's production. Like that's poor production, is what that is. So yeah, there. So you know, so just the tidbit there, just again, they if they took the time to think about their own product, then these types of things won't happen.
So I have some friends that are watching the show right now,
Mm-hmm.
and I get a message on Instagram
Mm-hmm.
that says to check my phone. So I go on Instagram. I go check Instagram. I'm like, okay, I don't see anything, and then I notice my text messages, and I got a picture. It looks, yeah, my head is a little shiny because of this light. By the way, all right, this light is a piece of shit, but It keeps it together, ladies and gentlemen.
And no Yank, and they're like, "Where's the Yanks?"
Right? But all right, we'll move on to the next match here.
Right.
Right?
You're
Because
like,
I
you're
ain't
not
talking about
even.
I'm not even
Yeah.
gonna talk about my shiny ass forehead. I know it's fucking shiny right now. We
Like,
talked
leave me
about
alone.
Jimmy. Yeah, we talked about Jimmy and Jay, right?
Mhm.
Another match that I thought was pretty good,
Right.
right? Bianca Belair, Jay Cargill, and Naomi,
Right.
aka Black Girl Magic,
That's what we
taking
got.
on that's what we called them. And not for nothing, the way their entrance, the way they came out, it
Yeah, we
gave
kind of
me
called it, didn't we?
it gave me it gave me Beyonce vibes. You know what I mean? Because
Well,
they
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 went
definitely
they
aspired
were
on some
the X
Beyonce
Men,
look.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. So this was a great way to break Jade in,
Mm-hmm.
because because clearly she's still green, which is, hey, it takes wrestlers some time. Okay, she's
Right.
still green, but you're able to calm her down a little bit though. Like so
Mm-hmm.
now it wasn't going to be hard for her to see the spots, because you were in this kind of a match where she had help. So clown is funny. So 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 yeah, so I thought that was a good time. That was a good way to bring her in. Good way to bring her in. Let her do some power stuff, and we're out. Like that's all. Boom. Good intro.
It you can definitely tell that she's been putting the work in
Yeah.
with the spots that she had.
Right.
Uh I would say continue working. I'm hoping that she will continue to work with Natty and TJ, in their training center to get better, to do some more moves. But then at the same time, I like what Jade said, because a lot of people said,
Jeez.
"Oh well, her match is too short." And what did Jade say? She's like, "I get paid per match, not for
No,
how
stay in your
long.
character. Yep.
Yeah, how not for how long I need to be in the ring."
And then why does, like, I don't understand people that want to see a frivolous back and forth with somebody that, when you have a match where I'm okay with squash matches when it's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, this person is clearly way better than this other person. Why the
Yep,
frivolous back and forth? Why are you
exactly.
doing this? Like, no, she should run over Chelsea Green. Like that's where she is.
Poor Chelsea.
So, okay, and we love Chelsea. We love to
Mm-hmm.
see her in the ring. We're glad that she's there. She's a great character, but her character in a match against Jade Cargill
Uh-huh.
should be bulldozered.
One and done.
Yes.
Before we move on, shout out to Columbus. Welcome back. He
What
says
up?
it's
What
been a
up?
long. He says, "Hey, long time. What's good, fellas? Chilling. What talking about WrestleMania, going over what we thought about the matches and stuff like that."
That's right.
Um, I was listening to the radio, and this is what I love, like especially about
Just
like
bust it
what
open.
wrestling. No. It
Okay.
was regular radio.
Regular.
It
Okay.
wasn't. Yeah. They even talked about WrestleMania, because
Yeah.
one of the guys was on there, and he said that him and his daughter watched WrestleMania.
Mhm.
She's not a wrestling fan. She kind of is like a casual wrestling fan or whatever. And they said that the video packages that WWE made you feel like you didn't miss anything. If we talked about that here on the show
Yes, we
plenty of
did.
times, that you can skip wrestling for 3 months, watch a major pay-per-view, and
Be
you
caught
can
up.
get caught up to everything that they did.
Right.
um when the little girl saw Bianca Belair, Jay Cargill, and Naomi, she said
Mhm.
she basically saw herself. She's
So
like,
my
"Oh."
daughter said the same thing.
hmm So it was great representation
Yep.
for young girls out there, especially young African American girls. You know, that they can be like, "Hey, if they can do it, I can do it. If they are accepted looking the way that they do, I know that I could be accepted the way I look," which was great.
Right. Right.
Um, another thing that people were talking about was Rey Mysterio and Andrade versus Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio.
Right.
I know people give shit to Dominic Mysterio, but my
Oh,
God,
he's grown.
he's grown.
Yes. He's not
He's
the same. Not the same when he was in the tag team with Ray. Like, he's not the
nope.
same guy. That's not. He has learned. Like
Hmm.
he's got it. Yep.
He's gotten way better.
Yep.
Um, I like the fact that Andrade turned on um Dominic Mysterio.
Hmm.
You
Right.
know, I still had that little bit of, you know what, Andrade may turn on Ray now,
Because
and this is all
he's
an
kind of
act,
known as a heel. Yeah. So.
right? So for them to make him into like a face to
Mhm.
help Rey Mysterio, but then at the same time, like I was saying, telling somebody else, it's like Rey Mysterio is so likable. You
Right.
know what I mean? He's so respected that, of course, even the heel will want to help him.
Well, that and like, yeah, that's true. And then it might even turn into something like Dragon Lee, like, hey, you're the one who jumped me to get that spot in WrestleMania, and then they
Hmm.
have like a program at like coming up, because I think that would actually be pretty interesting match there with Andrade against Dragon Lee.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got that possibility as well.
I mean, let's see. I don't think this is gonna end anytime soon because this is just like
No, we're just
over
getting
and
started. Yeah,
this
no, we
is
just
the back
we're
and
just
forth
getting started.
between these between Dominic and Ray.
Yep,
For me, I don't I it's gonna end with Rey Mysterio retiring.
a retirement match somewhere
You know what I mean?
where Dominic retires him.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I want to see. I want to see
Who
Dominic
else?
win
Who else?
and put his
Yeah, who else?
and put his Poppy on the shelf because
Like, what if he what if he takes up the moniker?
of having the mask. Nah,
Yeah.
I don't want that. You can't put Dominic Mysterio behind the mask now.
Yeah, no, you kind of have to start off in a mask and then roll with it.
Or unless he does like he did the last WrestleMania where he had like the mask when he was coming out of
Oh yeah, yeah.
the van, he had the
Yep.
mask on, they took it off. Like he could
Yep.
do something like that, like the way
Hmm.
Andrade does, where he puts the mask on in the
Yep.
beginning and then he takes
Yep.
it off. You know,
Right.
that could work too. Crown said, Dom turns face and saves his dad in the retirement match. Nah, I will boo that shit. Like if it was Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg with freaking Stone Cold being the referee. We all remember that one.
Yes, we do.
Everybody
A
booed Dom.
boo fest until
That shit was
Stone
just
started stunning everybody, and that's the only thing that got cheers.
but yeah, I don't want to see that at all.
No, I don't think that would go over well.
The last match for night one obviously was the anticipated tag team match that they had. The bloodline of The Rock and Roman Reigns, our tribal chief,
Mhm.
the head of the table. I have to make sure that we acknowledge our tribal chief in this show. Took on Cody Rhodes, the White Knight, and Seth Rollins. I don't have no
No
nicknames for
freaking,
Seth Rollins.
no
All
freaking
right.
Rollins.
He's the guy. Seth Rollins is that one coworker that does everyone's job and no one helps him. That's who Seth Rollins was this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. He was the overworked coworker that we all have. We have him out there.
Right. That's why you literally, like, everybody was talking. Like, I know I'm jumping a little bit, but everybody was talking about Seth Rollins in the main event of night two.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I think he just literally ran out of gas. Like right there, I think he's just
Yep.
done. I think that's what that's like. Because I'm like, how can you? I can't make fun of this man after everything he was going through and all the beatings and everything that this man has been through and how much wrestling this guy has done over the past year. I'm like, no, I think he right there, boom, the tank went empty. right when the music hit, he's like, what am I doing? His body's like, we're done. It's basically, and then he slipped in the ring and probably said, "Hey, dude, just hit me right now so I can fall down."
I could see that.
Yeah,
But I want to break this down.
let's break it down.
Okay. The Rock's entrance with the fire and the smoke.
Man.
That was dope. The outfit and everything. Because at first he had me there for a minute. Because I was like, why are you wearing pants?
I saw some people asking that as I was like, no, he won't be wearing those.
And then when he walked down and he moved to the side, and I saw that it was a tearaway. I said, oh. But the one thing that I'm so disappointed in The Rock's outfit was the trunks read The Rock. But this whole entire time, you've been saying that you're the final boss. I was hoping that those trunks would have said final boss. That would have been way better for me.
All right. Well, I am going to need that belt, though.
Oh, that belt that Muhammad Ali's wife gave him. Yes, they need to put that in the WWE shop.
No, I'm going to need that
ASAP.
back there. Yeah.
Like, the beauty of it, ladies and gentlemen, is that when you order something from WWE, if you can do the split payments,
oh man,
do it. Every month they'll just take out a portion of the money.
A firm sends me stuff still. Like, you want to buy something else? Yeah. No, a firm is a beautiful thing.
Like, I definitely plan on doing that when this belt comes out.
It's gonna get old. Like,
for sure. Here. So I'm just waiting for it to come up on the WWE shop. I'm gonna do the 4 payments, and we can unbox it here on the show with everyone, and we can all talk about the belt and how shiny and nice it looks.
Right.
As I'm watching The Rock come down the ring, the only thing I kept thinking to myself, and I was looking at my wife, and I was telling her was, damn, I hope this is not the last time we see The Rock in a ring. Because I wasn't there. I want to see The Rock wrestle one more time in person. I've only seen him wrestle when I was younger.
Right.
You know what I mean? So and then Roman comes out. And that was night 2 that I was thinking about. So night 1, he comes out, normal Roman. I said, okay, I can make a drink and come right back.
You can.
Because it takes long.
He takes his, which is part of the thing. Like, he wants you to get all pissed off that like, come on, get in the ring. You know, like that's part of it. It's like, no, I get in when I feel like it. Like, you sit there, my song's on a loop. I will get in there when I get in there. So,
but listen. We all knew that this match was going to end with the Bloodline winning.
Oh God.
Because it just made it more interesting for night 2.
That's right.
I gotta, out of all 4 guys in this match, I gotta give it to Seth Rollins. Because he is just there. He puts his body on the line so many times. I don't remember if this was night 1 or night 2 that happened, but I think at one point The Rock was doing a spot with Seth Rollins and his knee buckled, and he ended up just falling and hitting the turnbuckle, and then he kind of just,
that was night 1,
and he pops right back up, and he just goes right back to whipping on Seth Rollins.
I think I want to say night 1.
Okay, so it was night 1.
And I like how I think the commentating got it right when, like, soon as Rock started ordering the referee around. They're like, well, this might as well just be bloodline
rules right now.
Right now, like, cause if you count, you're fired. Like, so, so I'll just, and then they were all over the arena. Get the people their money's worth. Like, imagine sitting in that section where what was that? Rock? Was it Rock and Seth that went out there and did something on a table, like right next
Yes.
to the people? Could imagine having those seats.
Yeah, because they were like they went everywhere. So you
Right.
had, you had Roman and Cody on the rampway. You had
Yep.
Seth and The Rock, like doing their spots. So the fans got their money's worth. Everybody else, even people on Instagram right now, are saying, yeah, that was night one when
Mhm.
his knee buckled and he went
That's what I
over.
thought. Yeah.
Yeah, but man, I was kind of hoping we probably get a little bit more surprises on night one in that match. But it went clean the way they wanted it to be. And then The Rock, obviously, like looking, shout out to Mama Rose,
Yeah.
okay, because she played a really big part in that match when The Rock was just like looking at her and was like, "This one's for you," and he kind of he gave him the rock bottom
Right.
to Cody. He does this and then
Right.
do the whole people's elbow thing and ends the match.
Right.
Right. And now you just see, Cody Rhodes in the middle of the ring wondering what, like, oh my God, now what's going to happen on
Happening
night
again.
two?
Yeah.
Yeah. Seth, at one point, I was just like, do you do the cash in now or do you wait? Does Drew McIntyre come out on night one and maybe try to help the bloodline because it helps him more in his match tomorrow? Like what exactly are we doing? Um for night one, not for nothing with everything that we went over and all the highlights and stuff like that, I would give it a B, like a B
Okay.
plus.
I can agree with that. And kind of like when Tommy was saying earlier, I do agree with and folks that have been to Mania know this. When for the crowd, the sound just goes up when you're outside. Like it doesn't go like so in an arena, it bounces all over the walls and everything, and so that's why you get this big roar more when you're in an arena. When you're outside, you're yelling, but it just goes up. It goes out and then up. So sometimes it's a little muffled when you're watching it on television.
Right.
But Tommy was saying no, those were pops. Like they were loud, and that there were pops if you were there, and I believe him. So at first I'm like, man, is this crowd even into it? But I'm like, but when you really look, I'm like, no, they're there, they're in it. It's just probably the stadium vibe, and then I bet you cold weather. I bet you sound even travels even less. So am I lying? Like so, yeah. So so I think like you said, I think a good B plus. I think, like I said, I think we had some nerves with the USO match. I think that could have,
Yeah.
if they would have put on a good, like a better match, I think I could have given this at least an A minus. But it's just like that was a disappointing match. Probably not again. Hey, it happens, but I think all the other matches I think did their job. I think they, for where they were on the card, they did what they were supposed to do. And then you had the main event, which you can tell they didn't want Roman and Cody taking too many bumps. Like I started to see that right away. I was like, okay, they don't want to do too much damage to them because they got to wrestle for another hour, basically.
The very next night.
Right. So, which, when we get to that match, we'll talk about it. But, so yeah, so I'll give it the same grade. Like I say a B plus, which is, that's above average. That's what, what do you want? And then you have a whole nother night. So,
yeah, so we'll move into to night two. Going over the card here, they only gave us 6 matches for night 2, which, not for nothing, it felt, and maybe it was just me, but did night 2 feel longer than night 1?
You know what? I'm gonna back up just a second because I'm gonna make this is some funny stuff that so we know this is like the Super Bowl for wrestling, basically is WrestleMania. So everything is gonna take a little bit longer. You're gonna have more advertising. All right. So I started putting this together even before, like, because I don't like to even look at a lot of social media while I'm watching an event.
Mm-hmm.
I watch our chats, but not really the posts, right?
Right.
So with the LWO match, advertiser agua frescas.
I know where this is going.
Okay, the Black Girl Magic match, Popeyes, or not Popeyes,
It was
Wingstop.
Wingstop.
Yeah. Okay. The I think so. I think this is what happens on night 2, which was the Bobby Lashley's.
Yep. It was Dude Wipes.
That was gin and juice.
Yes. And the Snoop match was gin and juice.
Yes, because because I actually found a box of gin and juice and I was drinking it during the thing, and I was like, when it came up and Snoop came off, I took a picture for everybody to show, hey, look what I got. So I'm like, yeah, they got some. I think the advertising there. I think they're trying to they're trying to get to the audience. They think is interested in these matches to look at the products.
Yeah, I did notice that every certain advertisements was leaning a certain way, and I was just like, okay, WWE, don't be too racist now. All right, I don't know who handles the marketing. It's giving me a little bit of racist
See, here's the
vibes.
funny part. Those are like, so remember, just like how in your like the shows where like say the call up will sponsor a match.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the advertisers are doing. Remember, they sponsor the match. This match is brought to you by. So they know exactly it's the advertisers that are doing this,
Mm-hmm.
not WWE.
Mm.
So Snoop looked at the Street Profits and and Bobby Lashley. Like put our drink on that
See,
match.
even Jamal says Jamal was just like the Usos match had the dude wipes.
So like brothers, dudes,
Yeah, there you
you
go.
know. So or are you trying to say the match was ass, or is that what you're trying to say, Jamal?
That could be that too. That could be that too. You know. So let's go into night 2 of WrestleMania. They started us off with the world title match. You had Drew McIntyre, aka Popeye's Biscuits, versus Seth Rollins, the workhorse of WWE. I liked Drew McIntyre's entrance, where they had like the guys holding the sword and him coming down. I thought that was pretty. I thought that was pretty good. I thought that he was gonna do something in reference to CM Punk, especially since CM Punk was on commentary.
Right.
Once I saw CM Punk come out for commentary, I said he's gonna get involved in this. Something's gonna happen, and I was like, Drew McIntyre's gonna win the fucking title.
Mm-hmm.
Seth Rollins comes out with this whole band, which was a very popular band in Philly because a lot of the people in the Philadelphia area sent me messages when I posted about it on Facebook, stating like, "Oh, this is something that's always tradition in Philly." So I was like, "Oh, okay. At least they're paying homage to, where they're at." That was pretty cool.
Right.
But you can definitely tell throughout this match that Seth Rollins was tired, that he was beat up, and that he was just there to do the job and go home. Like, he's like thinking to himself, like, I gotta come back later tonight, fucking wheel my ass to the
get my
ring.
shield outfit on, and
You know what I mean? I gotta put the shield outfit on and truck myself out there,
and then
shuckling,
take
jiving,
another bump when I come out. I gotta take another bump.
and then take another one.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And at the end, Drew
Man,
McIntyre wins.
I would have died, Jamal, Like I would have been hollering if
Yo.
it was sponsored by Popeye's Chicken. I would have been in my living room hollering. My daughter
I'd be like,
probably been looking at me funny. I'm like, no,
I'm
you
like,
don't you don't
they hear us.
understand.
They hear us. I'd be like, that was me. I did
Yeah.
that.
Like,
I did that.
I'll be like, they need to give Kenny his cut.
I did that.
Yeah.
Because that shit was beautiful. But then, like, so Drew McIntyre wins. He's the new world heavyweight champ. Seth Rollins looks at Drew McIntyre with tears in his eyes
Mm-hmm.
and tells him, "You deserve it."
Mm-hmm.
Then he goes around, which this is how I knew that it was going to be a cash in.
Mm-hmm.
You spent way too long in that
his
fucking
song
ringside.
went around like 2-3 times.
He gave his wife a hug. He took pictures. And then he did like this, which somebody else, shout out to Willow Raven over on Twitter, where
Mhm.
she's just like, he did a sexy
He
like
crawled like Prince.
crawl
Yeah.
to CM Punk holding the
He
title.
looked like the Valentine Dream when he would win.
Yes. And then he goes and then he tells the cameraman to come closer because he wants to get a picture of this to hang up on his wall. And
Right.
he's just pushing the belt in front of CM Punk's face, showing off. And what does CM Punk do? Sweep his legs and beat the shit out of him.
With his elbow pad.
With the elbow pad.
Yeah.
And then just proceeds to whip his ass until Damian Priest music came out. And Damian Priest ran like he was the Flash.
Right.
I don't know if he hit Drew McIntyre for real, but he runs and throws the briefcase to his face. The shit pops up in the air.
It sure did.
Damian Priest grabs the briefcase again from the floor and was like, "I'm cashing in."
Right.
Beats Drew McIntyre, and now Damian Priest is the world heavyweight champion.
I'm about to say now they got both world titles.
But here's the disrespect that the IWC has. And I think you sent me this, where now they're calling Damian Priest the bisexual Undertaker.
I did. Yeah, I did say that.
Like, what is going on here? What is going on? That's so disrespectful.
So we're gonna act like the Undertaker didn't wear guy liner. Like, I mean, sit down. You know, sit down.
Like, the level of disrespect that people have online is ridiculous.
It is.
Shout outs to Ken. He's in the building right now. He says, "What's up, wrestling fam? What's a mania?" Right? Then he goes, "I hope next year it's in Vegas. I hope so too. DJ does hope so too.
That would be wonderful. I would definitely, even I don't care if I don't go to the actual event, I will just be in Vegas even if that's, you know, but now Clown, I will take Bondage Taker. Like, okay, that I'll take.
Hold on. As the young kids say, no Diddy, because you don't want to.
You gotta say no Diddy now.
Yeah. But
here we go. Here we go.
All right, what is Ken saying here? He says, we can all call Drake Carter a bisexual Derek Carter a bisexual taker because he wears eyeliner. Yeah.
So Derek Carr, because I'm a Raider fan. No, I'm not a Derek Carr fan, but I have seen Derek Carr in person.
Mm-hmm.
And he just had like for whatever, like I don't think he wears any eyeliner, but I think he just has really dark, like the hair around his eyes is dark. That's all it is. But I don't think he's wearing.
Tomato.
Any eyeliner, yeah. You know how much that shit would run, like in the NFL, like, you know, all that when you're playing NFL football and you got a helmet on and all that. It would be.
But don't they have the non-drip? We need a female in here to tell us this. I'm gonna find out because I'm sure that they have makeup that doesn't smear Because I seen a girl put 5 pounds of makeup on her face just to change her skin complexion to make herself look a little bit darker, and she stood like this the whole entire day, even through the rain, and the shit still the same. So I'm assuming that they have some type of eyeliner that can go around your eyes, that no matter how many times you sweat, the
I'm about
shit
to
is
say
not going
sweat,
away.
though. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's one thing to get your face wet, but the sweat is a little bit different. But like you said, I'm curious.
See, look, even Ken says that they have waterproof eyeliner
How do you know, Ken?
because Ken uses it sometimes when no one's looking. It's okay, Ken. It's
Hey,
okay.
we're in 2024. It's all right, bro.
We accept you
Yep,
no matter who you are.
that's right. All are welcome here on the call up.
So we gotta put the fantasy booking hat on.
All right.
How long do we see Seth Rollins out for?
He definitely, I give that man a break.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's see. So we have Backlash,
Mm-hmm.
and then is it King of the Ring come after that?
Yes, and Saudi.
All right. So maybe I would say have him be one of the, like, in that tournament is the way I would do it. But give him a break.
Okay,
Let's
so
go.
I do.
Let him get through this premium
Mm-hmm.
live. Let Backlash go by.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really need him at Backlash. Let the man rest, and then boom, King of the Ring. Let him come out. Okay, I lost my title, but now, ha 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 ha, I'm gonna go for. I'm about to get the crown.
Does Seth Rollins really need to be King of the Ring?
I'm not saying he needs to win. I'm just saying he's giving his reason to be in the tournament.
I guess. I can't confirm. I did get a text message from a female that says that they are waterproof mascara.
Now is it sweat proof?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Because to hold somebody sweating for 5 hours a day, every day. So remember, this is practice in the middle of the summer.
Mm-hmm.
It's an NFL football game. You're sweating for 5 hours. Now, what's up with Geek Savage here that just came in? He gave us like a little promo.
I see that. Well, welcome on in. It's the promos here.
Yeah.
We got other people in the chat right now. Seth comes back as a heel. Made it at Cody. He gives up everything, and Cody has a belt. And then Ken goes, "Y'all think that he asks for his release if they can't get Becky's contract under control?" Nah, Seth Rollins is a WWE guy all the way. I think WWE has to do something really fucked up for Seth Rollins to leave. Like, they treat that man way too well.
Because how many main events? How many titles? How many?
Mm-hmm.
So now you get to travel with your wife, and
Yep.
He's got it made. Like, that's one guy you could say has it made. They book him correctly.
Mm-hmm.
There's no excuse. Like, there's no excuses. Like, everything is like, there's nothing for him to complain about. So yeah, I highly doubt it. Highly doubt it.
Shit, they'll give Becky whatever she wants. They do it now.
Yeah, exactly. She ain't going nowhere either.
Where do we see Damian Priest in all this?
That's it. Like, I need to see like a title defense. Like, I need to see how is the big fight feel when he is entering the arena as the champion, and I need to see, because I bet you this is how the company feels as well. Like, okay, let's see how this feels when he goes out there and he's the champion versus whoever the challenger is. Does it feel big? Does it feel like this is one of the main men here? So yeah, no, I need to see it. I can't even call it yet. I need to see him walk in as a champion and see what that match feels like.
Right. Well, we're gonna see that next month at Backlash when Damian Priest takes on Jey Uso, because Jey won the number one contenders match on Monday.
That's right.
To meet Damian Priest in Backlash, which is in France, so it's out of the States. So that kind of helps Damian Priest It could
True.
help him and it could not help him. Because
Mhm.
now, how big is Jey Uso out of the United States?
Well, I mean, and technically, Damian Priest is a heel,
Mm-hmm.
so it's all right if the crowd is going for Jay. So far, but if he comes out and they're not like, you still like, if you're gonna be a heel, you got to be all like, I need boos then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we need the crowd to react one way or the other. So like you said, let's see where that, because Jay's gonna come out and they're gonna eat
Mm-hmm.
with him like that. They're gonna be with him when he comes out. So uh, like I said, I need to see it. I need to see how it looks.
I'm hoping the best for my man Damian Priest. He's a fellow New Yorker, born in the Bronx, like myself.
Mm-hmm.
Fellow Boricua like myself. So I'm really hoping that they keep this title on him for a long time, maybe half the year, and then let him lose it. Because he got to do something. He's been red hot for at least a year and a half, going on 2.
Right.
So what else can you do with this man? Like, what else does he need to prove? Before we get into the next match, I gotta read Jamal's comment because he goes, well, because I said WWE gives Becky whatever she wants, and then Jamal comes out and says, yeah, other than those cheek implants, they give her whatever she wants. Yo, Jamal, that is so fucked up in so many ways, man. Leave Becky's ass cheeks alone, all right? Like, just leave them
I
alone,
mean, well,
man.
in Jamal's defense,
Oh god,
okay,
here we go.
you want him to leave them alone, but she keeps trying to put him out there like there's something back there, though. Like, so what's Jamal supposed to say?
Well, she got to get that squat game up.
I agree. Like, if you're gonna wear that, you gotta have something, and it's. I mean, I remember when she was trying to dance with the Rams cheerleaders
Hmm.
at that WrestleMania kickoff
Oh
for
my
LA.
god, when she did that move, she was like, no.
I think she tried to twerk too, and people
And
like,
then it worked.
they're like, "Ee."
It didn't
It's
work
all
for
right,
her.
Bex. Just grab a mic and talk smack.
Exactly.
We don't need you to do that. Just talk smack.
um, moving on to another match for night 2. Are they really calling Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits the Pride?
I know that I'll be stupid.
Wow, just wow. So I'm not gonna call them that. So
I'm not gonna.
Bobby
I'm not gonna
Lashley
call him that either.
Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits took on the Final Testament, which is AOP and Karrion Cross. This match could have been on SmackDown.
Yes, it should. I think I almost said
Don't
should have, and yeah, I would have switched this match with the no, who doesn't have sound.
I mean we I can hear completely
Okay,
fine. Yeah.
but this should have been switched with the Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Yes.
That's my. I'm gonna. I'm standing 10 toes down on that.
Because we haven't seen the Andre the Giant Battle Royal
At
on
Mania, it should
Mania,
be at
and
Mania.
we haven't. I don't think I think the last time we seen it was 2019.
Let's see, because there was because when I went for, I think that was 31, like with the Sting and everybody. There was
Mm-hmm.
a battle royal. Yeah, I can.
Because I remember when I went to Mania in 2019, they had the Andre the Giant Battle Royal there, and then
Mhm.
remember we went into the COVID era of wrestling right after.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right.
So
Yep.
I gotta pause for really quick because Tyson is saying that there's no sound on YouTube, but then I have other people
Mhm.
stating that No, Tyson. Everything is fine on YouTube.
But then I
I can hear it just fine. I think that's you.
Like unplug and plug back, unplug your TV and plug
Right?
it back in.
So I don't really have much to say about this match
No,
because
because
it kind of just went the way it was supposed to
right.
with the Street Profits winning.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah, no, it was a SmackDown match.
again, the same thing like we said about AEW and the whole backstage thing. Did this really help anything at all?
The tag team match?
This tag team match.
No, it did not help anything.
It didn't help anything.
It helped
Okay.
Gin and Juice.
That's it. We had Snoop. We had Snoop out there giving some great commentary.
Oh, the commentary was wonderful for Snoop. Jamal, like, so it's not really about somebody like somebody getting
Mm-hmm.
anything out, like other than the big trophy for Andre the Giant Bat. It's a tradition. Like it's one of
Mhm.
those, and it gets a guy. Like, so all those people that did not get a storyline to get into WrestleMania, it's like your bonus check. Like you're able
Exactly.
to get a check for being in a WrestleMania match. Like that's what the Battle Royal was supposed to be about.
Yep.
So that's why I'm like, no, that should be at WrestleMania. Even hey, if you don't like it, go get a beer. Whatever, But I'd like to. It should be on the. We got 2 nights. It should be on the card.
So hopefully they move it out of SmackDown and they somehow, some way we get the Andre the Giant Battle Royal
Yep.
again on at a WrestleMania instead of the night before.
Right.
Big Hirsch is in the building. Shout out to Big Hirsch. He has a show that's going to be debuting soon. I think next week.
All right.
Still have no idea what Big Hirsch TV is going to bring, but I'm intrigued, and I will be tuning in.
I'm there.
The next match we have was LA Knight versus AJ Styles. I had my prediction for AJ to win. You know what I mean? Because he hasn't really won anything in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And LA Knight has been getting all these opportunities. And now you just got another one because he just beat AJ Styles at Mania.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another loss for this guy.
So remember I was telling you on our preview show, I said AJ Styles is at that. So we're at that point of his career where he doesn't need any of these wins. And then until it's time for him to say, okay, I'm getting close to retirement. We got to lead up to my retirement match. That's when you'll start winning again. But now it's time to it's like, so as you noticed, like just like Triple H said at the beginning of WrestleMania, like, hey, this is the era. And, this is like the beginning of this era, right? So I had a feel that told me right there, okay, most of the new folks, like folks that just started getting hot are going to win in this WrestleMania. So that's all this is. It's just like, so AJ was in another era. And then so for right now, LA Knight is of this era. And then this is the reason why he wins this match. So, and that's what we saw. But no, AJ will win again. Like I said, he's gonna win again. But for a big match at Mania, because AJ, I mean LA, because I know. Let's see, I'm just trying to think here. Because I know he lost to in other big spots, like he lost to Bray. I think he lost another match. So this is, he kind of needed a big win, put it that way. Like, and he lost to Roman Reigns. Yep. He lost in the Elimination Chamber. So it's like he kind of needed a win too.
Where does LA Knight go from here?
So he's like in that, I call it the Jake the Snake Roberts, like kind of like, it's like he's so like he's already like as soon as he comes out, it's like automatic. He has the crowd with him, just like
Right.
Jake used to when he was in his kind of babyface era. But they didn't quite know. Okay, how do you get a title on them? And that's where we are. It's kind of hard to. It's we talk about AEW's roster, which they do. AEW has a wonderful roster, but I think we kind of underscore it's like low key. We don't pay attention to the roster that WWE actually has here, especially in that mid card.
They have a lot of great people in their mid card division.
Because we were just talking about it. You got Jay, you got Chad, you got Ricochet, you got so it's just like all like like we're about to talk about Logan Paul. With KO and everybody, like, so you got all these people. It's just hard, like that's all that's been happening. It's for the company, it's a good problem to have, but for somebody like LA Knight, that could easily have a mid card title, and we would not and it would be believable for us. It's kind of hard to figure out. Okay, how does he get it?
See, and then you see people in the chat right now. They're like, "Well, LA Nate needs to have a championship match by next year's WrestleMania. He needs to either go out after the US title or even the IC title." I could agree with that too.
That would be a nice match with him and Logan Paul. Yeah.
But the one thing that I probably would say, I would like to see not Logan Paul, LA Knight do is win win Money in the Bank.
That'd be okay. That'd be interesting for him running around with the case.
Yeah, I don't need to see him win King of the Ring. It wouldn't fit his character. You know what I mean? But Money in the Bank. But Money in the Bank, I can see that.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm agree. Like I can see Ken or what Ken is saying is I can see him with the U.S. title. That seems I think that kind of fits. Like he can even it damn near fits the Slim Jim colors almost. He can do the Slim Jim commercials with that title and it would go with everything. So
shit, he was still doing Slim Jim commercials, which I didn't even know. He gave away a car.
That's right.
At Mania.
I saw that, I've been to a couple of 7-Elevens and I did see that advertisement, to, win the sweepstakes. And I never, you never really think, it's like, I'm not going to win, so you don't really think about it. But there you are, like some nice lady won a damn, what was that, a Corvette? Like,
something like that. Listen, she better trade that shit in.
I know I would.
Tyson's like, why does my voice sound like Barry White on IG? Hey, I have no idea.
My dog.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. Right?
Let's see. Where do we go from here? Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens and Randy Orton for the United States Championship.
Yep.
Let me tell you something. As much shit as people talk about Logan Paul, that match was good. Oh, he put on a show.
Yeah, that match was excellent.
He let two veterans lead him in a match that everybody looked good.
Yes. Yep. No, I think so. Going back to him and Jade, I think one thing that I've seen and I've, heard like little blotters on is that both of them are actually like when it comes to this, and Bad Bunny was the same as well. They have a lot of respect, and for the just wrestling in general, and they take their training very seriously, and and it's appreciated in the back, and they listen. Like they do, Logan, I think, is playing a role. Like I think he's just playing he's playing the obnoxious YouTuber. Is what he's doing. But I think really what's going on is that he's back there, he's doing the work,
right,
and he's learning, just like Bad Bunny did, just like we see Jade doing, and it pays off when you do it. Like when you sit and listen, like hello Jack Perry. When you listen, you get stuff like this. So yeah, no, this was an excellent match. And I mean, you cannot like he's a heel. You're not supposed to like his character.
Mm-hmm.
But when you take a step back from the kayfabe and the story,
Mm-hmm.
damn, he's good. He's good out there. I have no complaints.
Yeah, you could definitely tell that he's been like putting in the work because that match was so different from the last match that he had, and even him after the match looked completely different because the last time we seen him in the match, he was freaking gassed. When he did that promo backstage, it looked like he didn't even know what he was saying.
Right.
And then this time around, he kind of just looked a whole lot better, going into
And
the
sometimes it's that
into the
adrenaline too. Like you
Mhm.
get caught up, and then you blow.
Right.
Like just like we have to give Hogan some credit if we go back to WrestleMania with him and Warrior. So
Mhm.
Warrior went running down there, adrenaline pumping, and then in the middle of the match, he's like, "Hey, let's just go home." And Hogan's like, "No, like let's do let's do a test of strength that's gonna get you. You're gonna be able to get your breath back."
Mhm.
So same thing. Like you said, he learned. He's like, okay, I need to calm my ass down, and then
Mhm.
just kind of go with roll with the match, breathe. You're all right. You know what you're doing. Like
Mhm.
just okay. I like this question. Who would you who would be your comparison with Logan?
Mm. As far as like him being a talent, I don't know. I think I probably
That's
would
a
say
good. Yeah, like so. Would you say talent or the character? Ken?
I don't know.
Like that's a good.
I'll probably say talent was if you have to go with like Bad Bunny as far as like the way he's carrying himself in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
You I don't know who else would try to compare him to.
Because I like how like you said, it looks like you could tell he's a fan, and he's like, okay, I see. Like you could see he takes a couple of moves from here
Mm-hmm.
and there. Um, that's a good comparison. Um,
Yeah.
I would say, I would say he's a more athletic Hangman Page.
Mm.
I think he's actually more athletic than Hangman Page is.
Right.
But he can do the same move set.
Okay.
And they kind of and I even think they kind of favor each other a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, and they almost have the same style, but again, with Logan being more athletic.
Yeah. I mean, basically now you fantasy book Logan Paul. He's still United States champ.
Mm-hmm.
Do you make him defend the title at Backlash, or do you make him wait, or do you have him hold this title all the way until SummerSlam, where it's gonna be in his hometown?
Ooh, that's a good question. Um, I guess it depends. Like it really does depend on what are his commitments.
Mm-hmm.
Because for real, like if he is like he wants to do another boxing match or whatever, okay, yeah, go. You
Right.
gotta drop the title, and then go do your boxing match. But
Yeah.
if he's just chilling, like, cause I'm thinking the deal he got with Prime to advertise Prime,
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking he's like, nah, I can just be here. I can go wrestle my one match a month, and I think we're good. I don't really,
Mm-hmm.
he's probably at the point he doesn't really need to do anything else. So if that's the case, then yeah, let's go to SummerSlam with some good matches in between.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I want to see somebody else hold this United States title.
Sure.
I mean, the only person right now that's coming to my mind is Ricochet because he's been
Well,
killing
yeah,
it.
Ricochet's been killing it. So and he's one of my favorite wrestlers. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying not to be biased. That's why I don't name him all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's been. There's not a whole lot to be mad about with Ricochet with the job he's doing. with the how do you like the fast matches, the 3-minute matches that going on
On
Twitter
speed,
X or Speed. That's right. Yeah.
I could do without it.
Yeah, I think it's just a way, just a way of getting like a quick match in that you can watch real quick on your like while you're scrolling. I think that's
Right.
it's just kind of taking advantage of knowing how to use social media is all it really is. Ken, I have a feel like they might like hopefully like because Ken here, he's like he doesn't know if it's gonna happen, but like a big three kind of a faction with
Hey,
Jade, Bianca, and Naomi.
get that black girl magic on.
If they really paid attention to the crowd at Mania, I would think I would do it. I would see that there's money there. Like you're exactly right. I think there's some money there that could be had. So I would definitely do it. It would be fun. They would think of the outfits they would they wouldn't wear like the same they wouldn't wear the same thing every time like the Shield
Nope.
did. So think of the action figures, the posters, the T-shirt.
I'm sure that the guys over at Mattel was already like looking at these three females and was just like, oh, we can make uh, a pack. Like this could be like a 3 women pack that they can put together and have them like their WrestleMania moment.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And have them there like in that Beyonce esque outfits that they had.
And then and they were close. It was like I don't know if they have a license for X-Men, but it's like but they were close and they were a little bit off enough to be able to do it. It's like so it's like no, that's not exactly Storm. It doesn't have a yellow, lightning on there, on Jade's outfit, right? So it's close enough to the point where I think they could still kind of pull it off. It's remixed enough.
There were so many outfits
Right.
throughout the night
Yeah.
that I don't know how Steve from Mattel and Bill and them are gonna pick
Right.
like what to actually put out there. I say do everyone.
Especially like cuz I even liked I don't know if we got to this match yet, but somebody was in Eagles colors.
They were all in Eagles colors. A
Yeah,
lot of
like
them were.
right. So it's like, and I think they, so there you go. And it could just like the pack that's coming out with KO and Sammy winning in LA,
Mm-hmm.
and they're both wearing LA WrestleMania t-shirts and on their figure.
Yep.
So, so I would keep that going. Like, so it's like just another keepsake for somebody that even, because I'm going to get those figures just for the keepsake that I went.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So keep it like I would keep that rolling.
Another match that in the beginning they really didn't give this match a lot of shine until night 2 of WrestleMania, and that was Io Sky and Bailey for the Undisputed Women's Championship. I felt like the video package painted the whole story
Yeah.
of Bailey getting to this point in her career, getting her WrestleMania moment, and going out there with Io. That both of them could just put on a really good match. I was happy that they put them the second co-main event of the night because it definitely helped the night.
Yes. Yeah, and they put like we didn't have interference. You just let them do it. And they told a story. You just felt there was such a build up, like the crowd by the time we were getting to the close falls at the end of the match, you can tell the crowd was ready to explode for Bailey to win this thing.
Yep.
Okay, and that's storytelling. Like that was if I were to take somebody and say, okay, this is how you tell a story, like a ring story, like a story in a ring.
Right.
I would point them to this match because
Mhm.
like that was how you tell a whole story physically in a ring. To the point where your baby face, like you want the crowd to be so ready to cheer for this baby face. Like they were on the edges, and remember this is a Philadelphia crowd. Like
Yep.
you can't just pull wool over their eyes or just tell them who to root for. You can't do it.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's the brilliance of both of those young ladies that they were able to do that with a Philadelphia crowd. So that's what this is one of the like it's gonna be one of the matches that a lot of people are not gonna talk about, but a very underrated match.
Jamal says that Bailey reminds him of the redheaded stepchild of the Four Horsewomen. I kind of feel about that with Becky. Like, out of all the Four Horsewomen, I think Becky is like the least favorite in my eyes.
Why is that?
I don't know. It's just I feel like she tries way too hard, while everyone else is just there.
See, I honestly, if we put it all together, like so now that we've seen them all, like we basically seen them all to this point, right? So
Mm-hmm.
not in the middle. I'm talking about from jump to 2024 today.
Mm-hmm.
I say the least is Sasha.
I mean, now
Okay,
with the whole
Becky won
AEW
2
run,
belts
but so did Sasha Banks though.
at the same time. Like
Yeah,
she
she
had
was
both the
tag
world
team.
titles at the same.
She had the
Yeah,
world
both the
titles,
world
but
titles at the same. Yeah,
okay,
so yeah, no, a couple people like you had even Bailey had one of the world titles and the tag team
yeah,
title.
yeah.
Okay, so but no, I'm talking about both the world titles without it being the COVID era.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, um, and Becky was on all the talk shows and everything. Like she was
Mm-hmm.
basically the face of the company for a while. So no, that's why I disagree with that. I'm like, no, she was the face of the. There was people telling. I remember there were people saying she's the best wrestler on the like she right now is the best wrestler. I
Yeah,
remember people saying that. No, I don't
yeah.
agree. I didn't agree with that, but that's what
Okay.
some people were saying. so so that's why I'm like, no, people liked Becky. As soon as she got blasted in the face by Nia Jax, like that was then.
But then that sounds, but then
Yeah.
that sounds like it helped her though, in a way, to get that boost.
Well, because she didn't go like I think people appreciated that. Here she got her, nose busted,
Mm-hmm.
and she didn't go crying. She didn't go complaining about it. Like she was in the crowd, like So I think
Like,
that's
I'm
what.
here.
Yeah. So so I think that's what made a lot of people say, "All right," So, but and everybody needs some kind of moment, like
Right.
when you're not a Flair.
Yeah.
Okay, so that she didn't really need a moment. She's a Flair, right? And then I think the other three though needed something to like Bailey and Sasha had a classic match.
Mm-hmm.
That's when we started to see them, and then that was Becky's moment.
Right. So Ken asks, how do you guys rate the Four Horsewomen from best to worst?
Mm-hmm.
He gave his best to worst, which he has Sasha at best, then comes Bailey, then comes Becky, and then Charlotte Flair. I'm kind of curious as to why Charlotte Flair is the worst person
Wow.
in the Four Horsewomen.
Wow.
I think I would do that in reverse. I probably would obviously I'm going to put Bailey first. Then I'm going to put Flair.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put Becky in third, and I'm going to put Sasha last just because I'm not liking this run of Mercedes in AEW.
I haven't since she changed her name to Mercedes. Like since
Since
she's
she
been
changed it,
Mercedes, it's been
yeah,
flat.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm Bailey, Charlotte,
Mm-hmm.
Becky, Mercedes. And I think one thing that has happened, and we kind of talked about it on this show,
Mm-hmm.
So now we're seeing her wrestle without the machine, right?
Yep.
And so we talked about it with Edge. We talked about it with some of the other wrestlers, and so what I'm seeing is like I'm like again. So I'm just gonna be real for a second. We're seeing the same match.
Yeah.
We're seeing the same match. We're seeing the same spots, same match. All she did was change. Like she's got to work like whatever these finishers that she's coming up with.
Mm-hmm.
I say just go back to you being the Eddie Guerrero fan and go back to the Frog Splash because
Eventually she's gonna use that.
Because these finishers are not hitting. So, but yeah, but I'm seeing the same match, and then as I've watched older events, I'm like, wait, she's been wrestling the same match, but because of the presentation, you're not really paying attention to that.
Okay.
So that's why I put her fourth. I'm like, I think there's something there that they saw, and they're like, okay, we have to present her like this. So that so that she looks good. Like we're gonna put all your strengths up front, which is not a bad like that's how you should do things, right?
Exactly.
So, okay, so but so she has this in her. I don't know what's going on in her mind, but now that that's not happening, okay, now we're seeing other stuff. Like we're seeing all the warts and everything in the back. So that's it's like okay, she kind of slipped down after I saw her wrestle without all the without the machine behind her.
How do you fantasy book Bailey now that she is champion?
I'm glad that they brought some more like because we did like so what was starting to happen is we needed a turnover on the rock like we needed to turn over the soil on the women's roster, and that's not like and not bad on anybody. Like that's just we've seen everybody wrestle each other basically. So now it's time that's when you need okay, let's start bringing up some folks.
I mean, because you have Tiffany Stratton.
That's so I was like, I think that would be a good first defense. Because Tiffany Stratton, like, she's shown you put me in a match, you can put me in any match you want to, even, and she's got to be solid. Like I've not seen a dud match yet from Tiffany Stratton. So
nope. Flair is still. It looked like she was walking around WrestleMania without a cane or nothing like that. So she's good, almost getting to 100%. Don't know if Carmella is gonna come back anytime soon this year. You never know.
Never know.
Who else? I mean, God.
You had the two.
Candice LeRae has been changing up. She
and
could come.
The young lady, like so, not the NXT champion, but the other young lady from NXT that they had wrestle on Raw. Even though she's not gonna get a title match though, so that's
yeah. I know who I can see her face, but I forgot the name.
Yeah. But yeah, so right now I would go Tiffany Stratton to answer your question.
Right.
That'd be good. Let's get her weight. Like I don't need to see her wrestle the whole Damage Control roster. Like that's just not necessary to me.
Right.
Hopefully they know that. They're like, hey, she already ended that story with Damage Control. Let them go defend the tag team title now. Like they can even do free make it fun. They can do Freebird rules with the tag team title.
Okay.
And so let them go over there and do that. Like, let Piper Niven and somebody, and keep that going, right? And then Tiffany Stratton, Bailey, I think that's and I'm sure there's some folks who are not like, as you do this live, you're trying to go over the roster. But yeah. And then like I'm seeing Ken here, like, hey, we're talking about you got Bianca Belair, you have Jade, so
Naomi.
Yep. So you got to put them in the title picture too.
Last match of the night, the one that everyone has been waiting for, It's been a year since we've seen these two inside of a ring again, going one-on-one with each other. This time it's under bloodline rules. A lot of people did not know what bloodline rules mean. Basically, it's anything goes. That was basically, it was a no holds bar match, and everybody was going to get involved.
Right.
Roman's entrance in the beginning, when they sang his entrance, I was just like, I don't want this to end. We
had the high school
need,
playing it, and
yep, we need to have the tribal chief as our undisputed champion, so we
Are
can
they
get
selling those shoes, by the way?
the ones that he
The
had on.
Nike. Well,
No,
because
those are
Nike.
those are custom made for him.
Okay, I was like,
Yeah.
is that gonna be? Because if that's a thing,
Oh, I probably would have jumped on it.
yeah,
Yeah, I
I
was.
think I might have to.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump on that.
Right.
Cody coming out with the Triple H
Yeah. Yep.
skull thing. I don't know.
Right.
People. I know people had to like, oh my god, he came like Triple H, and then we finally seen Brandy come out
Right.
to ringside with him. We the last time we saw her was at last year's WrestleMania in the crowd.
Right.
This WrestleMania, she goes.
She had her little fit on, and
She had a little outfit on.
Yep.
She was looking right,
Yep.
and she was just. She got there in the beginning, and then she left before even him coming
yeah, my
out.
daughter was like, "Who's that?" I was like, "That's his wife." She's like, "Oh, well, all right now."
In the beginning, not for nothing, the match was like, it was just like, okay, this is pretty cool,
Right.
And then it started to pick
That's
up.
the thing about Roman matches, though. Like they don't just go right. Like they have a build.
Mm-hmm. So then it started picking up from there. You had the brothers coming out to help out Roman and Cody, and then the craziness happened. You had John Cena come out when Solo is trying to get everyone, trying to sit there and do his thing,
Right.
and John Cena comes out,
Right.
and then you have The Rock come out,
Right.
and then it just went do from there. It was
Right.
great.
Right.
I was waiting for Austin to come out. That's all you needed.
Right.
I was saying in the living room because I had like my wife's cousin was here. My son was up watching it. She was watching it. We was all sitting here together.
Mm-hmm.
And I go and I say, if Stone Cold comes out, I'm gonna be mad. Just because we're not there.
Yeah.
Cena comes out, has the stare down with The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Then he gets rock bottomed.
And then get the fuck out of here.
You know what I mean?
So I was like, well, that's the end of the PG era for real. Like,
yeah, And then then you heard the bong.
I mean, somebody that just needs one note of a theme song, and you know who it is,
right? And the crazy thing about it is that people were like, "Oh, well, why is the Undertaker getting involved in this?"
Mm-hmm.
You guys got to remember when they had WWE Court. Who was the judge?
Mm-hmm.
The Undertaker.
Every time.
So of course he was gonna be on here, but they still was missing Austin. I wish they would have
on it too. Like even in the storyline, like so Austin, what's the? Well, I mean, I guess. Well, let me answer that though, Clown. Like there, you had a rivalry there with The Rock and Austin.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, it would still make sense for him to want to mess them up. But I think basically, like they probably just couldn't schedules. Like Austin's a grown man that's not on the roster. Like so, I'm sure they wanted him to come. Like I have a feeling they wanted him to come. I haven't looked at there's a documentary I think on Peacock about the making of this match.
Yes, that it was supposed to debut this Wednesday,
Okay.
yesterday, but something happened where they pulled it because they want to add more footage of what happened over the weekend.
Okay.
But so they haven't given us a timeline of when they're going to show it.
I'm okay to add more footage. Yeah, make it right. But yeah, so I mean, it might have just been schedules. Like they just couldn't.
Right.
He couldn't make it. Like that's I don't think that's a reason to. I guess I'm past getting to being mad about something that was not promised to you. Like so, I just can't do it.
Ken was like, it's a money thing, and I think they would have paid Austin whatever he wanted.
Yeah. No, I don't think it was. I think just life happened and could make it. Taker was fine. Like lights go out, he's standing right behind the right. Like that was that was dope. What are we complaining about? And then boom, and he's gone.
Yep.
He did his shit and he was gone. So I was like, that was kind of dope actually. I didn't know I wanted that. So
when Roman speared The Rock, I was like, oh boy. Then all of a sudden you had more people come out because now the Shield music comes out. Everybody in my house went crazy thinking that Dean Ambrose.
We were like, wait, are we gonna see John? Yeah, yeah.
That John Moxley was gonna make an appearance,
right?
And I was just like, is his contract up? But why is he coming out to help Cody? Or is he here
to Roman? Yeah.
Or is he here to help Roman? No one knew, and then all of a sudden, comes out. Seth Rollins hops himself into the ring, and gets Superman punched right in the eye because you seen the cut on his eye afterwards, and I was just like, "Ooh, okay, that looks nasty."
Nice chair shot.
Then Roman got his get back. He got it back.
So yeah, that made sense in the story. And then, like I said, to me, like everybody was making fun of, like, all jokes aside about Seth not like jumping in and not being effective at all. But I'm like, why would he? Like, I mean, the man has been beat down like this for a minute. The man's beat down. So yeah, it made sense. It actually made sense in the story to me that he would, he's barely getting in there. And then he has nothing left. He goes in there and gets punched in the mouth, like you said, and then take a chair shot. Okay, go sit down. That made sense to me to actually. I mean, Tyson, but he struggled to get in the ring.
Yep.
So he had nothing. He tried, but he had nothing left to give. To me, that made sense.
At the end, Cody finally finishes the story. He finally defeats Roman Reigns, becomes the undisputed champion.
Right.
Everyone rushes the ring.
Right.
Now, here's what I like. Is that WWE was still telling a story as this celebration was going on. You had Seth Rollins on the floor in tears. He was in pain. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn helping him up.
Right.
You had The Rock in the rampway looking at his cousin.
Yep.
Looking at the celebration.
Yep.
Looking at Jay running down to celebrate with Cody Rhodes.
Right.
There was a video that we posted on Instagram where it shows Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman hugging on the top of the rampway as a, thank you for everything type of hug, and then you had all the baby faces out there picking up Cody in their shoulders and singing Kumbaya and congratulations and you deserve it.
Right.
And then the story's finished, or is just beginning.
Mm-hmm.
You had the mom there, you had the father-in-law there, where somebody
Mama
told
Rose.
me, where somebody kind of said something where there was like, "You sure Brandy's dad ain't hitting it?" Like, and I was just like, "Hey man, you
I'm
never
not
know.
sure. Yeah, I'm
You
actually
never
not
know.
sure.
You never know.
Yep.
Could be, could be."
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But I thought the match was good. I thought them, I wish there was more to the Bloodline rules match
Mm-hmm.
besides it being a no DQ.
I mean, and I'm I can go both ways because I did like that they didn't make it so much about the interference.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so they had a good time just those two together out there.
Mm-hmm.
So that was so just to show like, no, this isn't just gonna be some circus. Like, us two are actually gonna put on a match here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then now when it started to get down to crunch time, then we start seeing people run down.
Yep.
I was like, all right, so now here we go. So now we're, now we're getting to the nitty gritty, and now we're getting people jumping in. But it wasn't the whole match. Like, it didn't just have this whole match of just 30 people running around. Phil, Phil, there was a lot. Like, we had WrestleMania and we had TK to talk about. So yeah,
Yeah, exactly. I'm
we're at
surprised
the
that
main
Phil.
event, though.
I'm surprised that Phil's up. Normally Phil's sleeping. But so we always so far in the show we fantasy booked the winners. So, but it's different with this one.
Mhm.
So, what happens next with Cody? Like, how do you fantasy book this? Who do you put him in front of?
Right, and this is what so I said earlier. I said, so this is one of the issues that they like. Again, not a it's a issue, but it's kind of a good issue to have.
Mm-hmm.
What are you need? So we need some heels here.
Mm-hmm.
We need somebody to turn heel. We need, or maybe like if you're gonna make Gunther even more of a monster heel now that he's dropped the IC title.
Mm-hmm.
But he needs to, like, so Cody's like that new Jack kind of a white meat baby face. Like, so he's not the annoying white meat baby face. Thank God, because he'd be getting, that's not going to last. Like, as we know, that doesn't last with wrestling nowadays.
Right.
Yeah, he just needs a good heel. Just needs a good heel to have, like, let's just get some good matches going. We know, like, Cody has proven he can wrestle in any match you put him in, like any kind of match you put him in. He can wrestle with whoever. He's a good dance partner with whoever you put him in there with. So let's just go with that for right now. And then you're like, well, I think, like you said, you got King of the Ring. You got some. It's time, like, they gotta kind of build, like, now that you've had WrestleMania, and this happens. This is, like we say, like, this is almost like New Year's, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is time to start. So now you got to start building other folks to come up. So that's why it's kind of hard to fantasy book this at the moment, because we just saw the endings of all these different storylines, and now somebody's got to come and challenge him, right? Somebody's got to say, "Hey, it's my turn now," and then see where, because Monday we had The Rock say, "I'll be back," basically.
Yep. That could be
Okay.
SummerSlam. He has to go film Moana now.
Right. So, okay. Hey, we know he's coming. We know we're going to see that pretty soon. So in the meantime, let's see what, let's see what we get. And just kind of take, like, at this moment, just kind of take the ride at the minute for the moment. Especially after Mania. Like, after Mania, this is how it goes. Like, I almost feel like there should be an off season for wrestling.
They should, but unfortunately, they go 365. So,
Right.
Leads me to my next question, because I wouldn't know who would you put in front of, who would Cody be, like, have as like his next opponent, because there's different options you can go. You could go Randy. You can go back to the Bloodline. Maybe have Solo. Um, I don't see Roman wrestling anytime soon.
Let that man rest.
Yeah,
Like, I
let
think,
him let him rest off him and Seth.
right. With
You
the
know,
because I just watched it again, like that A&E.
yeah.
And I was even kind of noticing, I was like, and he's a little bit light. He was a little bit lighter. Like he was
Mm-hmm.
cut. He was cut. He was more cut than he usually is. But he was lighter than he
Mm-hmm.
usually is. And I was just like, okay, I think that's the medication.
Right.
So this is why he doesn't people that complain. This is why he doesn't wrestle that much. Okay, and then they made it, and the brilliance was that they made it a thing. Like they kind of made it part of the aura that he doesn't wrestle. That like you gotta like really earn a title shot for him to even show up,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Exactly.
So they kind of wrote that into the fact that he is always fighting in the background. He's always fighting this thing. So so yeah, let that man go rest for a minute and recoup, and we'll see him. We'll see him again.
What do you want to see in Roman and the Bloodline Chapter 2 when he comes back?
Well, kind of like what I'm seeing in the chat, like so we know, uh, behind the curtain here, we know that they've signed a couple more Samoans, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've personally seen and had Jacob Fatu fall in my lap at in independent shows.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been every time I've seen Jacob Fatu is thoroughly entertaining. Like if you haven't seen him before, he's thoroughly entertaining. Like he is,
For a big guy, he can move.
man. Okay, so you're in for, if you haven't seen him before, you're in for a treat. Um, and then you have the Samoan Werewolf, who I also am a fan of.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where that will fall with the bloodline, because he's not really in that family. You
Right.
can probably write him into that. Like he looks
I'm
close
sure they
enough.
will. I'm sure
Yeah.
they'll do it.
Yeah, he's close enough where you can write him in easily, and we would go, yeah, that's believable. Or you can make him kind of an anti if you want it.
Right.
So, so I think we'll see. As the bloodline's not going. They should. The bloodline should be something like the Four Horsemen or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
where they're just there. So they don't always have to have titles or whatever, but they should just be there. Jamal, and that's what I think will ultimately happen down the line. I do see
Yes.
that.
Mm-hmm.
So Jamal, for those listening, so he goes Bloodline Civil War with a Team Rock and versus a Team Roman. I see that one day. I do see that one day.
I could definitely see that happening, especially where like Roman coming back and blaming The Rock for losing his title
Mm-hmm.
because he was distracted or whatever story he's gonna give.
Right.
You know, um, Roman definitely does need time off.
Mm-hmm.
When he comes back, it has to be like the way the 2K storyline is, where like he gave up the title, but now he wants it back.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then you start bringing in all the other family members. You see a
Right.
better Solo Sequoia. You see Jacob Fatu. You see, Jimmy again. You see Jay. You know what I mean? You throw in Naya this time.
Yep. No,
You
where they
know?
really start to get everybody. Like
Uh-huh.
Naomi, it's time to come on. Like
Yep.
everything. So, no, I see that happening one day. I do. Like you said, like Roman, like he even says like this ain't over kind of thing in his
Mm-hmm.
post, like right after. So which is good. Like that's the character. It's like no, he should not accept that. Oh, I just lost, so now I go wrestle AJ Styles or something.
Right.
So it's no, no. This is like no. When I wrestle, I'm wrestling for that. I'm wrestling for the strap
Right.
or something going towards that. So, yeah. So that's there's a lot you can do with that still. There's still juice in that on that. There's still juice there.
Mm-hmm.
Especially now that you're bringing in some new blood. So, so yes, I say stay again. that's kind of the exciting thing about it, though, is that so you have all these possibilities. You know, again, they have the way, like, I remember, like, there were years that you could probably even remember, like, years after Mania, you're like, okay, what are they even gonna do after, like, you know, what's gonna, like, I don't see anything good happening after this, like, if you're honest, right?
Because
Whereas,
last year WrestleMania, the Raw after Mania, it wasn't even that good.
I mean, just all kinds of stuff. Like, even you can keep going back. Like, you just, like, it's like, okay, what now? Like, everybody's like, you know, after Mania, like this, right? But now it's like they kind of put themselves in a situation to where they're in a, this is like a good, they kind of have a good problem here. It's like, okay, we got we got all these toys we can play with. Like, how do you want how do you want to line them up, kind of thing. So, but don't, you know, but also learn from your mistakes of, like, having this, like, you got this surplus. So now don't take it for granted. Like, don't just, like, put anything out there and think that we're just gonna take
gravitate towards it. Be like, oh, well, it's Bloodline, so you guys are gonna love it. And be like, no, we don't.
Why? Yeah, why are they fighting
like,
these people?
why?
You know,
Give us a reason.
Yep. So,
but that was the whole WrestleMania card. I have to say, night 2 was better than night 1 for me.
Sure.
You know, just because of the nostalgia of everything that they gave us in the main event and the stuff that happened with, you know, that Bailey and Io Shirai match. I thought that was great.
Right.
The beginning of the show with Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre, that was great. Us crowning a new champion.
Yep.
You know, it definitely was like an A+ show for me.
No, I think definitely they successfully took what happened in night 1 and said, okay, let's let it flow into night. Like, it's the second night, but kind of it still had to feel like, okay, it's a continuation of what happened yesterday.
Right.
Which is not easy to do. And that's why you had Seth be in the opener. It's like, okay, you just saw him last night.
Right.
And it boom. So it's like Seth's character brought you in from night 1. Even. It's like, oh wait, we just saw him and we know he took a beating the night before.
Exactly.
Okay. And then here he is. He's got to go against a whole ass, like, you know, like a big ass, you know, dude that's hungry. Like, you know, he was hungry in this match. Claymore right off, like, as soon as the bell rang, clack. You know,
I thought, you know what? if he would have hit him with the Claymore and that just would have been the end of the match, I would have been fine with that.
It would have made sense even, you know, but he kicks out. Okay, we're going with this. And then they had a match. Like, they had a pretty good back and forth until, again, Seth gave his body gave out. And boom, he, you know, Popeye's biscuit wins it. Goes over there screwing around with CM Punk
and fucking loses it right there in 5 minutes.
So
he had the belt for 5 minutes.
Yeah, so that was boom, and then that's how they started the night, right? So it's like it's like, okay, be on your. They were telling you right there, be on your toes. You don't know what's gonna happen. And then, like you said, the stories and everything that went on in night 2. I thought was a better, like, they gave us a little bit more, like they upped the ante on night 2, and I have to give it an A.
Yeah, I like Jamal. He goes, night 1 felt more wholesome. Let's see. Ken goes, and I'm agreeing with him on this one. He's like, I hope they don't go NWO and let everyone join the Bloodline because they're family, which is true. I don't want them to just start adding people just because they were in the fucking family tree that the Rock show. Like, not everyone needs to be on TV now. You know what I'm saying?
And they show up in 4 limos. You know, or anybody that's just brown. Like, if you're anywhere close to a Samoan, you're Bloodline. No, you don't do that.
Like, you look Hawaiian. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
It's all right.
They're pulling, Ricky Steamboat out. Like, come on, you're in the, don't do that.
Oh my god. So we're pretty much done with everything that we wanted to cover. Do you have any winners and losers for this week, or was it just all the recap?
I thought just all recap. I mean, I think
Yeah.
it's a kind of a unanimous loser here is Tony Khan.
Mm-hmm.
And the Bucks, I think, are probably be unanimous loser there.
I'm just putting all of them in there.
Yeah.
Tony Khan, the Young Bucks, and Will Ospreay are all big losers for the week.
And then winner, I'm gonna say you know what? I'm gonna say the guy who produced the main event on night 2.
Okay.
Oh man, his name, like, this is again when you're live, I forgot like the man's name.
Wasn't it Michael P.S. Hayes and Bobby Roode?
Bobby Roode. That's who I wanted. Yep.
Yeah.
Bobby Roode.
They produced that match together.
Yeah. Yep. So they found something for Bobby because Bobby Roode's had all those injuries and couldn't really, like it's just like every time he would start to get going in the ring, he'd get an injury.
Yep.
And so I'm glad that he didn't just give up and just go home. He's got you can obviously see he's got a mind for this.
Yes.
And here he is. And I thought he produced beautifully. So I have to give him a win.
Can we also agree that Samantha Irving
Oh God, yes.
needs to be in the winner's circle?
All the haters, I'm like, dude, you can go somewhere.
It was crazy because when they announced Cody Rhodes as the winner, and she got on the microphone and she was like, here is your winner. Mind you, they didn't pan to her when she did that,
and she doesn't want to know she doesn't want to know the script. Like she goes on what's happening.
So her raw emotion, was what we all felt in that arena,
sure,
or on TV,
right?
Of Cody finishing one chapter of the story and moving on to a whole new chapter.
Right. Yeah, no, Samantha Irving, she's got the big fight feel when she's making the announcement, like when she's announcing the wrestlers. I'm sorry, the people that were hating, go like you really
you can go eat a dick.
You need to go outside, like go outside
and get hit by a car. Nah, there's no touching grass or letting the sun hit your body. Nah, let a car hit your body, bro. That's how I feel. Let the car, as you're looking up at the sun, the solar eclipse comes out, blinds you in the face. You walk down the street and you get hit by a car. That's how you want it. That's how you send them off.
All right. I can't even argue with that. I am gonna Jamal. We gotta give like Damian Priest climbing the mountain like we saw him do. You gotta give him the man his due. The man made it all the way up, and he is a world champion right now.
Yo, is he really fucking Lana?
Is he really?
That's the rumor.
Then I mean, I guess that's another.
Hey, okay, you get another win. All right.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Another dub there.
Fuck, he's just winning.
Right.
God damn. He's just winning. Yeah, out there.
That was Earl to Hebner's sign. That was it's just like because nobody's hiring you, Earl.
Exactly.
So,
like I said, go get hit by a car, bro. That's it. That's it. So any of you,
or the people that I just can't take a female voice. Just like,
fuck it. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
In the words of the knuckleheads, go fuck yourself and get hit by a car.
I gotta get one of those t-shirts.
That's it.
All right. So
all right, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's it. I think we wrapped up everything that we had to talk about here for this episode. Shout outs to Ken, Jamal, Crown, Tyson. We had Big Hirsch in the house. We had Phil, Tommy, everyone on Instagram right now that has been showing us love. My mom tuned in because she sent me a text message. Some friends of mine that are actually at work right now. If you guys are still watching this or listening to this while you guys are at work, be safe. And thanks for the text messages letting me know that my forehead was shiny. Shout outs to the Knuckleheads family for like always helping us out, because without you guys, we probably wouldn't be pumping out all this content all the time. The Fig Cave. Don't forget to join the Fig Cave if you guys are looking for action figures that you can't find at Target or Walmart. So obviously, somebody in the Fig Cave will find it for you, and it's only $1 a month to join the Patreon. That will give you access to the Facebook group. It's a great group of people. I'm in there. DJ's in there. Jamal's in there. Chad Miller is in there. He was here earlier.
He was here.
You know, Tom and Phil, obviously they're in there as well.
They peeked their head in. Yep.
Yeah, you know, great group of guys.
Kicked off of getting blocked by shows and everything. Yeah.
Anybody else you want to shout out before we get up out of here?
Man, let's go with like Barrios Toys. They still in Sacramento and they're still doing their thing. If you're in their area, they have the meet and greets are wonderful. If you ever go to one of their meet and greets, man, they let you take your time with the person.
Love it.
They don't charge you more for signing. Like, you know, you could bring stuff, like they're not going to charge you more for signing a figure or a picture, all that garbage. They just, you know, bring your stuff, take a picture, get stuff signed, tell them how much you appreciate their work. And just everybody like we're having a ball here. Like this is like we're doing good. Like make sure you're subscribing. Share the video with folks. We ain't going up. We're 10 when we say something, we're 10 toes down on it.
Yep.
Okay, we said.
I'm sure people are gonna give a shit about this episode, but I don't care. I don't care. I love it. I think we have a really good time. We have a good time with everybody here. That's the point. You know, a lot of shows, they want you to pay to get your opinions out there. We read everyone's comment, good or bad.
Yep.
You know, and that's and we stay true to what we believe in.
Right. Yep. So that's all I got for this week. I'm pretty sure it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be an interesting week coming up too. And we'll talk. Whatever happens, we'll talk about it.
So, guys, thank you for tuning in. Like I said, if you want to check us out more, follow us on Instagram at the Call Up Podcast. And if you guys want to chat with us live because you're listening to the audio version of this, by all means, join us every Thursday, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on YouTube, and we're on Instagram, and we're on Facebook. So you have 3 different platforms that you can use to try and sit down here and give us your opinions. But guys, until next time, be safe and keep enjoying wrestling, please.